Every morning I've woken up for the past month or so and thought of two words. They're the first two words that jump into my brain and they're all I can think about. Obviously I'm talking about Froot Loops.
What can I say? I'm a big fan.
Okay, but after my morning bowl of Froot Loops, all I could think about was Nintendo Directs. This is mainly because I was working on a massive 16-minute, concept Nintendo Direct featuring full 3D animation of new Mario Kart tracks, brand new games, and it was just an entire huge project, and all the proceeds of it went to charity. That video is up now. It's my favorite video I've ever done, by a long shot, and if you guys haven't seen it, I would highly suggest you check it out. So that took about 2 months of insane work to pull that off, and therefore that was kind of all I would think about when I woke up. That video pretty much controlled my life for, that period of time, and I've always wanted to do a video like that, but I chose now because I thought, now would be the perfect time considering that Nintendo isn't really doing an official Direct. The last thing I wanted to have happen was work for 2 months on this insane concept fan-made Direct and then have Nintendo announce a real Direct right as I was uploading it. However, Nintendo is seemingly not doing Directs anymore, at least not for the foreseeable future. Various leakers and industry insiders are, claiming that the next Direct will be in September or maybe even later, and the fact that we got games such as Paper Mario, the Origami, Trailer King, Paper Mario, the Origami King trailer, and Pokemon Snap being shown off in some random Pokemon Presents presentation instead of an actual Nintendo Direct, which you would have think it would be shown off there. It's clear that Nintendo is not doing a Direct for the foreseeable future, but that just begs the question, why? Well, I wanted to give you guys my take on why Nintendo isn't, doing Directs. Obviously, COVID-19 is the main reason, but I think it goes a bit more in depth than people think. So I'm just going to give you guys my hot take in this video. So as I literally just said, yeah, COVID-19 is probably the main reason as to why Nintendo isn't doing Directs. Nintendo has always been, very conscious of what's going on in the world. I remember a couple of years ago there was a terrible earthquake in, I think, Hokkaido, Japan. I'm not exactly sure. There was a terrible earthquake and, Nintendo delayed the Direct for everyone around the world a week because they realized that, hey, we shouldn't really be announcing a ton of games at a time like this. And I feel like Nintendo kind of feels the same way about COVID-19. But especially now, the thing is, they don't really have set schedules for a lot of their games. What happens internally at companies like Nintendo is when a game gets pitched to, the higher-ups as, hey, this is something we should make, the people who are pitching the game to the executives have to come along with a giant, timeline of, hey, this is when the game's going to be revealed at this presentation or around this time or at this E3, and this is when it's going to be released. But since we're in unprecedented, territory, we're in uncharted waters with this whole working from home thing, all those schedules are in the air. No one really knows when what's gonna be ready and, all that. It's just a bit of a sticky situation. So Nintendo, smartly so, has realized that, hey, we're not really in the position to have a Nintendo Direct. We don't really feel like we want to announce a bunch of games because if these games end up being delayed, it'll be similar to that Metroid Prime 4 situation where a game's been announced for so long and then it just kind of, fades into obscurity, I guess. We can tell that they wanted to do this with Paper Mario, the Origami King. The main takeaway I have from that entire game's promotional material so far is just how chill Nintendo was, oh yeah, just upload it to Twitter, it's just a new Paper Mario game, when in reality, that's a pretty big thing. On top of that, they did it only 2 months before the game comes out. The game comes out in less than a month now. That's unheard of for a big AAA game. But, Nintendo did it because we are in an unheard of situation, so it makes sense to do these unheard of tactics. So now that hopefully you have a bit of a better understanding on, why there isn't really a Nintendo Direct going on right now, I want to answer the question that I'm sure all of you guys have. When will we get Nintendo Directs again? Well, I don't know. Well, that essentially boils down to when will COVID-19 be less of a ever-present thing in our lives? And that is something that I am 100% unqualified to answer. I'm not going to give you guys, a specific prediction on how COVID is going. I did want to mention, though, that if, the graphs stay like this and people do not, use social distancing and the virus does not get that much better, which unfortunately, at least in the US, it is not getting that much better. I wanted to say that I think if COVID-19 is this bad and this prevalent, even, into 2021, then I think Nintendo will start doing directs again, just because I feel like, by that point in time, everyone will be settled into this new work from home or social distancing, workflow rhythm, that they'll have a better, grasp or better idea of how long it'll take to, finish these games and do all this stuff and get it ready for release. But right now, they just really have no idea how long each game is going to take, so they're really taking it on a case-by-case basis, and instead of getting a bunch of game release dates all ready to announce at once in one direct, they're taking it on a case-by-case basis, as I just said, and, a couple of months before each game, they're just going to announce the release date and trailer on their own. Now, Nintendo is not a very transparent company. They do not let us know the inner workings of what they're thinking that much, so granted, all this is technically speculation because we have not gotten anything official saying, yeah, this is why we're not doing this, this, and this. However, based on what they did with Paper Mario and just the general, vibe of what's currently going on, it's pretty likely that this is the case. With that out of the way, I wanted to say thank you guys all for watching, and if you have not already seen the Nintendo Direct, I implore you to go watch it. It's the best video I've ever made, by far. And hey, if you enjoy this more, discussion-oriented video, make sure to check out our podcast, Nintendo Tonight. I'll link the Nintendo Tonight, channel in the description down below, and yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Thomas from the Switch Stop, signing off. Peace.